Hey, what's going on everybody? This is Sam Hack here with Rent to Retirement. I'm glad you're here to continue your real estate education and learn about the keys to developing a successful financial future through real estate. Today, we're going to be putting the 401k under the microscope and see how it stacks up to investing in real estate. The first topic that we need to touch on is how we measure the success of the 401k versus real estate. I think it's important to note that both of these investments are really just investment vehicles, meaning you don't realize any benefit from them until you put them to work. So in the 401k, that would be investing in the stock market, and in real estate, that would be placing a tenant into your rental property. The problem with the 401k is that most people don't understand how a 401k or the stock market work, so they just give up control and let someone else manage it for them. The problem with this is that once that person relinquishes control of the investment, they're also relinquishing control of their ability to understand how the success of that investment is measured. The person who's in control of that 401k is now very happy to have it. They take fees just for having money sitting in their hands, but hopefully they're taking fees based on how well your money is doing in their control. Both of these are sticky situations though, because no one wants to pay for non-existent investment returns, but also if they're taking fees based on their performance, financial advisors still manipulate how that performance is measured. The biggest way that financial advisors take advantage of their clients is through the average return lie. Money managers and financial advisors love to tout their high average returns for their clients. And to be frank, most clients don't bat an eye at this crap. It's because they don't understand the math. Here's how it works. Let's say your money manager is in charge of investing $100 within your 401k for you. In your very first year of working with him, you really crush it and you're able to make a 100% return on your money. Wow, you would just have doubled your money to $200. Your financial advisor is a stock market wizard. Not so fast. This is a retirement account after all, and you're in it for the long haul. Your money manager in the next year shoots for the same great performance, but he comes up short, way short. He reports to you a negative 50% return. At the end of year 2, he reports to you your average return was 50%. This is where the dishonesty starts to come in. So let's do the math here. Let's do the math. Okay, so this is the average return lie. I'll show you how this works, all right? All right. So if we do the math, we had $100 to start. Okay, $100 to start, and what do we have? 100% return, yeah. So we have 100% in our first year, which gave us double our money, $200. Pretty sick, right? But then we had a, what was it, negative 50% return? Yep, and then what did that get us to? Yeah, you guessed it. $100. Right back where we started. So effectively, your money manager did nothing for you at all. It's totally dishonest, but they're gonna tell you they got you a 50% average return over 2 years. Don't buy into this lie of the average return, okay? Now let's move into how real estate stacks up to the mighty 401k. Okay, so I'm gonna go through a little diagram here with you comparing real estate to 401k. I've got a couple bullet points for myself, but I'm just gonna expand on them as best as I can and sort of show you the differences between the two. So to start out here, we have real estate. What kind of returns can we expect on real estate? They're pretty darn good. They're pretty darn good. We have all these benefits, which I described in the last video, that stack up to get us somewhere between a 10 and 20% return. I mean, this is pretty darn good. Try to do that in the stock market. Try to do that in your 401k, your Roth IRA. It's gonna be tough to find. So what can we expect in the 401k in that growth category or that return category? We might be able to get 5 to 8% at first. So, that's somewhere in there is where the stock market usually, fluctuates between and averages out over time. Maybe we can get that each year depending on the market. But when we get closer to retirement age, which is what we're thinking about really, is, we need to decrease our risk tolerance, our ability to take risks with our investments, because we can't lose all of our money right before retirement. We got to keep some around, So what can we expect then? Maybe 2 to 2.5% return. Not so great. Our next category is penalties. So with real estate, there are no penalties for tapping your money early. There's no one who's going to tell you what to do with your investment. And that's really an important thing. Whereas over here on the 401k, 10% penalty for tapping your money early. That's before retirement age. So the government's going to say, yeah, well, we'll give you these great benefits of the 401k account, which we'll get into in a second, but not until you're retired. And hey, what happens if you don't even make it to retirement age? What happens if you die early? You're not going to get to enjoy any of your investments at all. So that's not fun. We're going to talk about limits, like how much can you invest in real estate? Well, also no limits. That's pretty darn cool. I don't want anyone to tell me how much money I can invest in a certain asset class, but you guessed it, the 401k, it's going to have limits. And how much? How much? $19,500 a year. That's our limit. So we're not allowed to put in any more than that. That might seem like a lot of money right now if you're young and just starting your career, but you're going to be pretty successful someday, and this is not going to be a ton of money that you want to invest. You should be able to invest as much as you want, like this in real estate. I just want that freedom and that flexibility. Next, we'll talk a little bit about the money flow in these two. I think the comparison is best described as maybe a match in the 401k, and in real estate, someone else is paying into your pot as well. So this is kind of a wash comparison, but we'd say tenant pays into pot via rent, which is pretty cool. We need that outside source of money that's really going to supercharge our investing. And similarly over here, we have an employer match. So not all employers will do 100% match. Like if you contribute $100, they'll also contribute $100, but maybe they'll match half of what you're putting in. So this is a nice thing about both, is that we have an external source of money flowing into our investment. Next, we're going to talk a little bit about the tax implications of both of these. So over here, I'm going to start with the 401k. We're going to be able to do pre-tax contributions. So this means that before income even gets taxed through regular income tax, we're going to be able to stick it in the 401k, and that's pretty darn good. However, over here in real estate, we actually have strategies to pay no tax at all on our investment, on our income. So we really like this. There's multiple ways of doing this through the 1031 exchange. We can do, that's a tax deferment, but we can also use depreciation deductions, et cetera, to pay no tax. So, compared to the 401k, pre-tax contributions, the way I think about this is that we're actually making a interest-free, we're giving the government an interest-free loan, because over time, we're growing all that money, but then when we take it out of this account, the 401k, we take those distributions, the government's gonna tax us. So we're basically growing their money for them, because they're gonna get a % of the total growth and the total balance at the end. So I don't want to make an interest-free loan for the government. I'd rather pay no tax to the government if I can, always paying our fair share and doing all this legally, but this looks way more attractive than just the pre-tax illusion, because then we're going to pay it later. So now that we've seen the strengths and weaknesses of the 401k as well as real estate and how they compare, let's put a little bit of rubber to the road and figure out how much money we would actually need to retire successfully with a 401k. So let's say you earn $100,000 annually and you're about to retire. So you're used to that $100,000 a year lifestyle. Well, you're also going to want $100,000 a year from your 401k to support that lifestyle. You don't want to have a huge downgrade. That would kind of not be a fun retirement. You want to travel, you want to spend time with family and all that good stuff and maintain your housing expenditure, etc. So what would that take? A 401k, the amount it would take to retire with $100K a year. This is pretty crazy. It would take 4,000? Nope. 4 million. 6 zeros, $4 million a year. And the way we came up with that is 2.5% a year. Like we said, we got to decrease that risk tolerance in investment age so we don't lose our principal. 2.5%, that gives us $100,000 a year. Using real estate as your preferred investment vehicle is going to be a much more effective strategy than a 401k ever will be. With the cost of living in America going up for food, housing, and expenses, medical expenses every day, there's just no way that anyone will be able to save their way to retirement. The only way to have a fruitful and abundant retirement is to invest in rental real estate. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the subscribe button below and turn on the notification bell. We'd really love to keep up with you and continue your real estate education. Rent to Retirement is glad to have you coming along on our real estate education and investing journey. If you're looking to buy your first property or expand your portfolio, please visit us at renttoretirement.com for more real estate knowledge and investments. You can also contact us directly at info@renttoretirement.com or 800-311-6781. We really look forward to working with you.